Thank you for tuning in to As It Lays. Today's subject is Tom Hanks. Tom, thank you for being here.
My great pleasure.
We'll just get started with the questions.
Hit me.
Have you ever written a Yelp review?
I have not. I don't believe in Yelp reviews because it's not criticism. It's just opinion.
Is it ever too late to apologize?
It's never too late to apologize, but it's best if you apologize in the 2.4 spectrum. 2.4 seconds after the event, 2.4 hours after the event, 2.4 days, 2.4 years, 24 hours. You have to get there somewhere in between the 24th hour and the 24th year, at the latest.
Are you a fan of avocado toast?
I like avocados, but not the toast. I have type 2 diabetes, so I avoid bread.
Where would you like to spend your retirement?
I'd like to spend my retirement somewhere commuting in Salina, Kansas. It's midway in between everything that's important in the world. You can be in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles in somewhere around 2.5 hours. Salina, Kansas might be actually proven to be later on in our lives the actual center of the universe.
What's the toughest part of being a parent?
Loving all of your kids equally.
Do you trust your gut instincts?
Yes.
Have you ever worn an animal print?
Well, outside of cowboys riding horses on a pair of pajamas when I was very young, I'll be damned if I can recall ever doing so.
Do you believe in karma?
Yes, I do believe in karma. You put good out there, good comes back. You put bad out there, and you just feel bad all the time. That's a form of karma, I guess.
In your opinion, what's the best film ever made that's set in Los Angeles?
There's two spectrums to choose from. The positive life of Los Angeles, or the negative aspect of Los Angeles, the corrupt, the Los Angeles of conspiracies. In which case, if you're going for the bad part of Los Angeles, you can't do better than Chinatown, in which J.J. Gids says to, what's his name, John Huston, says, how much better can you eat? What's the point of all this for? And John Huston says, the future, Mr. Gids. That's the bad part of Los Angeles. The best movie that is made about the joy of Los Angeles is going to have to be, I think, John Milius's Big Wednesday. It's about surfers over the course of an entire generation of surfers. And that pretty much captures the good and the bad of why people come to Los Angeles in the first place. It's the edge of the continent, and the rest of the world begins just a few hundred yards offshore.
Are you generally good about writing thank you notes?
I am generally good. I'm not 100% good.
Is it okay to be superficial sometimes?
Whatever do you mean?
If you were president for a day, what's the first thing you would do?
If you only have one day as President of the United States, the first thing I would do, one day to be President of the United States, the first thing I would do, I'm trying to think of how to best maximize the good of the office of President of the United States. They have a lot of power, the President. You could sign an executive order to do something. I would give I would set money aside for the United States Post Office to stay in business. Because at the end of the day, the government will send a letter from you to a loved one for somewhere about 30 cents, maybe 40 cents a piece. But if you're going to use any other service, it's going to cost you at least $5, $6, maybe even 12. So I'd fund the United States Post Office for a day.
Do you have a favorite meme?
No, I do not. I'm not big on memes. I've recently removed the web browser, the search engine, from my iPhone.
How deep does paranoia run in you?
It is as thick as my fingernail and no deeper. I'm not a paranoid human being.
What would be your DJ name?
Buggy Jism.
Have you ever felt like a guinea pig in someone else's experiment?
No, but I have felt like a pawn in somebody else's chess game.
Do good things really come to those who wait?
I think 50% of the time, yes, which makes you think, oh, great, I'll wait. But then you spend that other 50% of the time waiting for things that never show up. And I think that's what you remember more.
Does a full charge of your phone battery get you through the day?
No, it does not. I have to plug it into either my car or a socket. And this from a man who has no web browser. I have no search engine on my phone, and it still doesn't get me through the day.
What would be your fatal flaw?
The Achilles heel, the fatal flaw, the crack that could break the mirror, would be my instinctive thrust to laugh at the first and constant opportunity. There's sometimes where you just shouldn't make light of things, but I always seem to do so.
What do you want the world to know about Tom Hanks?
As little as possible.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for being here.
Great pleasure.
And thank you for watching.